Augustine Prep basketball coach Paul Rodio. Talk about the Hermits and everything that's going on with his team. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hi, how you doing? All right?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us. I know you got a busy weekend, a busy couple of weeks
I'm a busy
here.
day, but I'm at my favorite coffee shop in Hamilton, Casciano's. Throw a little plug in for my buddy here.
Nice.
Having coffee in the morning with my friends.
I'm sure it's free for you, as famous as you are, Coach.
Oh, yeah, it's free for me. The owner's standing right in front of me. It's not free for me.
Coach, you had a great career here, and I think you have like 2,000 wins or something like that.
Yeah, 2,200 wins. Now, I've been very lucky. I've had a very good career, but I've had very good kids. It's a very good school. I've been very, very fortunate in my career, surrounding myself with the right people and the right kids, and I'm just blessed. And I can't say thank you enough to the people around St. Augustine and the people that I've coached, the parents, the kids. It's just been a great, great run for me. I'm just so happy to represent the school.
Talk about this year's team. What did you expect, around Thanksgiving when you guys started getting going on the practice season and then the scrimmage year, and then you go into the regular season? Did you expect this kind of start? I mean, you're 19-0. We knew you had some good players in Syed Nelson and Justin Mutz and Austin Kennedy, but did you think it was going to come together like this?
I thought we had a chance, having been around a lot of teams and looking at what we did in the summer and some of the accomplishments that we made and some of the things that I saw starting to come. Underrated is Marlon Hargis, the sophomore, has really started to come around, and he's blossoming. I said the other day to someone, it's almost exciting to you're sitting there watching this kid mature into a legitimate high school basketball player and a Division I type of prospect as a kid. And Walt Harvey has been probably our most underrated player for the year. He's had such a great stretch. If you would have told me in Thanksgiving that those two kids were going to come around like that, I would have told you we're going to have a chance to be real good. So I thought we had a chance to be good. How good, you never know. You never really expect 19-0. But right now, it's just hanging on and see what happens.
You guys had a real big win, probably the signature win of this year, the Battle by the Bay, beating Christian Brothers Academy. Always nice to beat those guys, right?
No question. I mean, it's a tremendous rival, all kinds of respect. You have a program like that that's successful year in and year out, every year in the top 20 in the state, and every year, very, very discipline-oriented and a great coach. He does a great job with them, and the coach that was there before. It just has grown into a huge rival. We've played a lot in the last probably 10, 15 years. And anytime you could beat a team like that or a program like that, that's a great step for our kids.
How tough was it matching up against that guy, Pat Andre? I mean, he was hitting threes from the parking lot, for God's sakes.
No question. He shoots the ball. He had last year in that game that we had last year, and we were ready for him. But, we looked at it a little bit different, and, the people who know me know the kind of things that I would have said. We're going to have a tough time matching up with Andre, but they're going to have a tough time matching up with Syed. So it kind of worked that way. It was the matchup of those two kind of evened out, and then I think the rest of our kids kind of stepped up and gave us a little bit better effort than we had thought, and that helped us out.
Talking with Coach Paul Rodio, St. Augustine Prep basketball. Coach, talk about Syed Nelson a little bit. Here's a guy who's had a really interesting maturation process. He comes in as a freshman. He's about 5'7", 5'8", slick ball handler. But he's really matured into a great all-around player, fine young man. He's well-spoken with the press. He's really you can see him kind of almost be ready for the next level at this point.
It's going to sound like I'm saying the things that I'm supposed to say, but it's so true. And anybody that's around, so he knows I'm telling the truth. It starts out with the fact that he's a great, great kid. He's a great student. He's a model walking the halls at St. Augustine. You could never walk in there and find a teacher, and I don't care who it is, an honors Shakespeare class that he might have. And you could find any of those people, and they would tell you this kid, he's well-written, he speaks well, he reads, he's just a great student. He's the kind of kid you want to be around. That then translates onto the floor that he's the kind of player you want to be around on the floor. He doesn't change his emotion. He doesn't really. You look at him, and if it's a bad call or a good call or he missed a shot, it doesn't matter. He's the same demeanor on the floor. Dennis Foreman, who played for me, works at the school, and I talked a few different times about it, and he said that's the one thing that just steps out when you watch this kid is he is one of those kids. So consequently, as a coach, I don't have any fear in my heart when he's holding the basketball with 30-some seconds left against CBA that he won't make the right decision, because he will. He's that kind of a kid. And like someone said, did you think we're calling timeout? I had the ball in my best player's hand. He was there dribbling. They weren't running at him or doing anything. Why would I take a chance to have to take it out of bounds again, get it back into his hands, and get back in the same exact position where I was at that time? So, no, but he's one of those kind of kids. He's just a pleasure to be around. He's a real tribute to South Jersey basketball.
Yeah, what are you going to say in a timeout? Okay, so you do what you're about to do 10 seconds ago.
Right, yeah, get the ball crossed over, try to get into the paint, make sure you're either scoring or getting fouled. I knew, like someone said, well, you're afraid he was going to take a jump shot. I know Syed, I know he knew in that case that we had to either score or get fouled. That's what we wanted, and he was going to try to do that, and that's what he did.
Coach, you got a big game coming up Monday night against Atlantic City, who's I think 16-1, and you talked about some of your guys maturing as sophomores. They have a really great sophomore, Ray Bethea, who's really coming into his own. Lamar Thomas as a point guard, senior, real tough kid. How great is this game going to be? I'm sure there's going to be a huge crowd out there on Monday night.
It's going to be a great. It's also turned into a pretty good sized rivalry. And again, a lot of it comes down to the respect issue that people have for each other. We have so much respect for Gene at our place. He's done a great job with that group. He wins a state championship a couple of years back. He's kept it together. It hasn't changed much from them. They play the same way. You know what you're getting from them. They're going to come in and play us as hard as you can play, and they've put together a tremendous season themselves. Two good programs in our, really at 1 and 2 in South Jersey, so it makes our conference, puts our conference a little bit up on a pedestal as far as South Jersey is concerned. So it's just a great game. We have a lot of respect, and it'll be a chess match. It'll be them trying to stop Syed, us trying to do the things that we do, and it'll be a great crowd out at St. Augustine. I think it's just, again, good for South Jersey and good for our conference.
Talking with head coach Paul Rodio, St. Augustine Prep boys basketball team. Coach, talk a little bit about, for a minute or two here, about the Shoot Down Cancer event coming up, and give our fans a little bit of background on that. And it's really turned into one of the great South Jersey tournaments.
Yeah, he really has done a great job. David Carolina worked with me for 20 years. In early 90s, his son was sick and found out that it was a malignant tumor. He went to the Children's Hospital, and the type of tumor that he had, really the survival rate was not very good. The percentage rates were not good. That young man, who's since graduated St. Augustine, is currently a junior at St. Joe's University and is doing well. So he beat the odds, and I know that he felt very good about the help and everything the hospital had done for him at that time. So he decided to do a little something to give back. He's raised over $250,000, closer to $350,000 now, that he's given to Children's Hospital for cancer research, and that's the proceeds from this tournament, some of the sponsors and things that are there. And it has grown into a very, very good tournament. I love to see everybody in South Jersey try to come out and not just for the basketball, but to help put some money again into the till for Children's Hospital.
Who do you got lined up this year? It's next weekend, right?
Yeah, it's next week. It's a great one. Obviously, our game against St. Anthony's will be another one of those packed houses and type of thing. They're number 3 in the country right now, and 1 in the state. So, that's obviously a major challenge and a major step for our kids to see where we are with a team like that. I think you have Atlantic City playing Bordentown. Right now, Atlantic City's whatever they are, 16-17-1, and Bordentown's 16-17-0. So that's a great game next week. And you have some of the traditional good rivalries. Middle Township, I think, is playing Camden Catholic. And you have a lot of the local teams are all in there. St. Joe's, I know, is in there, who's doing very well right now. I think they won 6 or 7 straight. And they play in the tournament. I think they played Brixton. So a lot of the local teams, a lot of the bigger teams in South Jersey are there, record-wise. So it's a combination of a lot of good. Delsey, I think, is playing. I'm not sure who. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but it's a whole day for Sunday. you can come out and catch a lot of good basketball for a good cause.
What's that tournament like for you? I mean, it's got to be great as a basketball coach to kind of just you're probably at the school for the entire weekend and just watching all these games. And how cool is that to see teams from out of the area, maybe some North Jersey teams or whatever, and you don't really get to see Camden Catholic too much and those kind of teams. It's got to be a great thing to kind of just sit back as a basketball junkie and just watch some of these games.
It is. I mean, I love it. It's just a great day for all of us, and he has great food out there too, so it works out perfect for me. But anyway, it's a great situation. There's a lot of tournaments. The thing today that we're playing tonight in Cherry Hill is another one of those days, except, we don't run that. I'm not sitting there all day. I'm driving up. I like to see a little of the Atlantic City-Camden game, but it's another day where you could just, go watch good basketball. So I think it's an opportunity for me. A lot of good friends that I have that have been coaching for a while that I'll get a chance to see in that environment. So I just think it's a good one for everybody to kind of, if you're a basketball junkie and you like high school basketball, that's the place you want to be next weekend.
Definitely good stuff, Coach. Thanks for taking a few minutes. Enjoy your coffee out there in Hamilton.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay, thanks, Coach. We'll be catching up to you soon.
God bless. Thank you.
All right, that was Coach Paul Rodio from the St. Augustine Prep basketball team, 19-0. They're going to